Hello, good afternoon. Apologies for the random start time, but we have been taking part in a charity paddle tournament. And I think taking part's the right word.
Yeah.
Competing, not so much.
No.
But taking part is the right word.
We were there.
We were there, we played games.
Might be a stretch to say that.
I think we did. We definitely played games. We weren't very good at them, but we definitely participated. So yeah, there you go. We're back.
We won some points.
There you go. It was for Woodlands Hospice, which is obviously a tremendous cause. Trying to help them raise some money. So yeah, we were.
Yeah.
You were very disappointed, aren't you? You're very spat your dummy out because
I didn't spit me dummy out. I just don't.
Felt like you spat it out.
I just don't like playing sports that I'm not good at.
Do you just expect to be good at things when you just start?
Yeah.
See, it's probably where you've gone wrong.
Yeah.
Because you've got to build into some stuff.
No, I don't believe in building into stuff. I
Okay.
believe you just erect the house. Doesn't even have to be built. You just turn up and it gets done.
Yeah.
Mm.
How many houses have you erected?
12.
Again, I don't believe that, to be fair, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I will definitely be frequenting a paddle
Will you be
course.
paddling again?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That genuinely, I think so. Really enjoyed it.
Got the paddle bug,
I just think...
which is ironically probably what I had last week.
yeah. I liked tennis. I was all right at tennis in my younger days. So it's good. I like it. I like it. So yeah, I'll be having another go.
Why not?
Got to play them again, the Redmen. We played the Redmen, they battered us, but we were a bit crap by them. But I think looking at them, there's nothing to fear there. I think we played another few games and then we beat them. But there you go.
I don't think it helped not really having a clue about the rules.
No, we were at a disadvantage from the get-go. I mean, I said this before. When I turned up and people were stretching and getting out with, their paddle rackets, if that's what they're called, personalised, and two of them going off to the side and really warming up. And so I thought we might have a slight issue. Never ever playing the game. And the fact that the opening game, we had to have the opposition just telling us what was real and what wasn't.
Not having like an umpire wasn't great. And there was games as well where we won points. And there was 2 games where we won points and we weren't given the points. But we never said anything because it's like, did we win the points? But we did win the points, but we weren't given them. And that was also factors in it.
Yeah, that is a bit odd. You're just relying on. Like the opening game, like I said, we didn't have a clue. We were just going by what the two lads we were
He could
playing.
have just said, no, you didn't eat a Mars bar between serves.
So we
wouldn't have known, literally.
Yeah.
So it was one of those where we were just like,
Yeah. I enjoyed it, though. I've got to say, I did enjoy it. Daniel Reel says I played paddle for the first time 2 weeks ago, and I'm hooked. So there you go.
it's not that taxing, is it? It's not really that taxing physically.
Then you stand where you did not move, yeah. No, it's good. You can get around. It's good. It's just anticipating it, isn't it? Because it kicks off like the Astro a little bit. And it's working out the glass and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But we definitely got better as we went on.
4D chess.
We got better as we went on. It was just a case of you were purely fuming with yourself because of that, and you did get in your own head a couple of times.
I don't like to lose.
But that happens.
I'm not a loser. I don't like.
No,
I'm not a loser.
No. Yeah. No one was on VAR, sadly, Phil. Or if they were, they just kept
There's a couple.
out
There was
the
a couple.
way.
There was one against the Redmen. There was one against 2 ex-Liverpool ladies players. That was very.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
And then there was
tedious,
another
to be
one
fair.
when we played at the end where the lads just completely dismissed the fact that we'd won a second point in the game. And from that point, I was just like, lads, if you're not going to take it serious, neither am I.
Fair play. I like it. I like it. Carl says, imagine Ped playing frustration when he was a child and going mental when he lost.
But I didn't lose, though. That's the thing. I didn't lose that much when I was a kid. I just didn't. I'm just a natural born winner. So therefore, it makes it harder. It makes it harder. It's why I'm such an incredible runner.
Is that what it is?
It's a one-man race.
Fair play.
You're only racing yourself.
Listen, fair play. I have no reason to doubt what you're saying. But it is about building up. You see, I had this struggle with golf. So
yeah,
I was okay. I was like decent at tennis. Basically, because I was fit, I could move around the court. I was all right. And like you, the football teams I played in generally won. So I didn't lose that much in that way. But when I started playing golf, and I'd saying to James, some weeks I'd be all right at it, and I think I'm getting this now. And everything would be going quite well. And I was like, right, if I can build this bit up, I'll be good. And then I would go the next week, and it'd be like I'd never picked a golf club up in my life.
It was a bit like that today, though, wasn't it?
Terrible.
It was a bit like that today. There was some bits of it, I was feeling really good, and I'm whacking it over the net. And then you just catch an edge of the paddle, and it's like going...
But that happens in tennis as well at times. You just misjudge something, or... You know, it's...
Well, that was the other thing about it.
The bits I only really got near the end was... the mesh bit.
Yeah.
So, like, if it hits the... You know what I mean? It was like... They were like, yeah, it's our points. And I was like, oh, I can't argue because I've never played, so I don't know. I knew the glass bit.
Well, the other side of it was...
that was a bit mad.
We knew we had to swap sides of the court for taking a serve. But then some of them would be like, no, you need to switch. Oh, we need to swap sides on the court as well. And we'd be like, well, hang on, we didn't do that in the last game.
No, we only done it in about 3 games. Everyone else, it was mad.
Everyone saw us coming and made things up. And the worst thing was, the team that we had a good chance of playing, which had Jamie Webster in, we never got to play.
No, and he was terrified.
He was terrified because he'd been going around bad-mouthing us. Don't know how he can do that, but he did. And then next minute, apparently, he was like, oh, I don't really want to play them now.
We'd have battered them.
And I think he pulled some strings to make sure that we didn't play them.
We'd have battered them. But it's all for a good cause. So, it was good. It was good.
And then, right at the end, so there was a butty van called Derek's, very nice sandwiches. James had one. And just as the game's finishing, because obviously I couldn't eat one while we were playing, because then that would interfere with my athletic ability. I just
Do you think maybe you should have just had it and it mightn't have made much difference?
No, I couldn't have done that. That would have gone against
People were just walking out, eating them and then just going on.
They already knew they were losers. I don't see myself that way.
Even though they were beating us.
And as we got over to the place, there it is, back of the car, just driving away into the sunset. And I thought, that's my
That summed up the day.
That summed up my day. All I wanted was like a few games of paddle and a butty. And yeah, thanks very much. You gang of Derek's.
Fair play. James got stung as well. I mean, he didn't get stung, it just cost him a tenner.
Did he had extra money on for the charity or something? Feels harsh. Did you know it was a tenner, or was it just when you put your
when they just
phone on the thing, did it come up as a tenner?
I'll be honest, it didn't look that hard. So I don't know if it had the prices on it, but I didn't know it was a tenner.
I didn't notice any prices on it, just seeing what the options
but it might have been.
Yeah, but
I can't say for certain it went, to be fair.
Yeah.
Emma said, my mum was in Woodlands, lads. Well done. Such a great cause. They're amazing. And I think Danny's just said, well done, lads. They looked after my mum at the end. Great people, great cause. Yeah, and I was just saying to James that if we do, and to Ped, of course, as well. Well, I mean, we can't guarantee Ped will be there. So when we do I'm messing. When we do next year's 24-hour one, maybe we look into sort of doing stuff for them, because I think they places like that need everything they can get, and I think they really, not that Kevin Campbell Foundation doesn't either, by the way, but I just think that as well, something like that, I think could really benefit from any money we raised as well. So there you go. There you go. Daniel says, is the lad behind Derek's a red or a blue? I've no idea.
No idea.
No, but he made...
I just know that...
I don't know, but I'd seen when, like, Liverpool fans were going up to his van, the sandwiches were a £5.
Yeah.
And when James went up, they were a £10. So I don't know. I don't know whether there was anything in that. Yeah.
Who knows?
No, it was good. It was good. What have you made at Chelsea? Because you were breaking this news in between games, weren't you?
That's where I lost my focus.
So you've been sort of following bits of the story.
If you say so.
Well, you know more than me. So give us a little update.
Well, they've had
think.
74 charges apparently from the Abramovich time, and they're basically not expecting a sporting sanction. They're expecting a fine roughly around the £8 million mark. It's to do with buying players and having secret funds going to those players. And what's mad is, it's just like, surely that's a sporting benefit.
Of course it is.
It's a sport. Any that involves a player and then playing
Champions Leagues
and then playing for you. That's a sport, and so they should. The fact that it's just mad.
In all fairness, mate, we all know building a stadium, creating jobs, redeveloping, regenerating an area that's in need is far more of a sporting advantage than petting players from different accounts and managers from different accounts so that people don't know what the real numbers are and winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and FA Cup and everything else you want to throw in. That isn't really cheating. It's building that big bricks and mortar thing where the Premier League had to come down on Everton immediately for that cheating that was going on.
Yeah.
But there you go. It sort of, again, makes Richard Masters look incredibly incompetent. How that fella's remained where he is a question that a lot of people I think need to ask. Why is he there? Is he there because he protects those clubs? Quite possibly. But the whole thing's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They owned up to this. And what I love about this is Todd Bowley or Ted Bowley or whatever his name is came in and just went, look at all this here. We'll just tell you that this club's been doing this for years, but don't punish us. And we're not going to get any sanctions. We're still going to reap all the benefits. We're going to spend £2 billion on players and never look at us because we've done this. And people have just sort of gone, oh yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I said this, and I said this the other day with John. I didn't understand. John sort of was like, well, that was before these current owners, but that, to me, that's like the Friedkin taking over going, whoa, see what they all done there? We want our points back. We want money back. Nothing to do with me, Gov. We want to spend 300 million.
The club still won the trophies. The club still won the trophies. This club still benefited from it. It's still a football club. It's not called Ted Bowley FC. It's so the club should be punished for it. And it just because they owned up doesn't mean anything. They owned up because they didn't want.
Well, they knew they were going.
I imagine someone to walk in and go, "You didn't report this, therefore it's like a double sanction." They should be hit with everything, and it's just, again, it's a joke, isn't it? The whole thing's a joke. How some clubs get punished and some clubs don't. Because at the end of the day, £8 million fine to them's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. Ken says Chelsea's 74 charges will probably disappear the same way City's 115 charges have. Yeah, it's all a bit mad.
There's no consistency, is there? And there's no, like, will there be any, like, will anyone come out and explain if they are just fined, why they're just being fined and not there isn't a sporting sanction? You know, I just don't understand that whatsoever. Why did Forest get sporting sanctions?
See, Forest, I can almost understand because they did know the rules and just went, we're buying all these players anyway. I said this at the time, I'm not going to change my mind. I still don't think they should have been docked points, and I don't think Everton should have. I don't think points deductions are the right way to do it, personally. But what Everton did was literally sabotage our own quality in our squad because we were building a stadium. And lots of losses went into our thing. And, you know, we filled forms in wrong and all that, which has all come out. We had loads of mad circumstances that made it much worse. And yet we were hammered immediately.
Yeah.
Forest were hit immediately. And yet Chelsea owned up to this over 2 years ago. Got the £8.1 million fine or something, I think it was, from UEFA.
Yeah.
Because they owned up to it. UEFA slapped them on. Because UEFA's thing is there's a time that you have to do it by. So they give them a slap on the wrist. Didn't ban them from Europe and all that. Of course they didn't. And they just paid it and went about the job. And the Premier League knew, and the Premier League have just put it in the bottom drawer, out the way. When you've got a club admitting it. And yet Everton and Forest were dealt with as a matter of urgency and treated disgustingly. And if Everton should really try to do something about it. But last time we went against the Premier League, all of this stuff started and got worse. And I just think it's pathetic. And the City thing's pathetic as well.
The question would be, is like, what are other clubs prepared to do anything over it? Like, because Everton, there was clubs being, suing Everton, and some fell away. There was still talk that Burnley was still active until recently. Would other clubs be prepared to get involved? Clubs that might have missed out on Champions League or whatever at the time because of Chelsea or whatever, would they be prepared to get involved in this? Or is it just like, no, we've got to keep the status quo, don't want anyone looking over our shoulder as well, over our homework? And there's no, like, as you said, there's no distinction. Is there? Like, why no one can say that there's no sporting advantage. Of course there's a sporting advantage. You bought players to help you win trophies. That's a sporting advantage. You bought these players and got round the rules by using offshore accounts or whatever it is. So, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I mean, what John did say the other day is they were sort of, it looked like they were sort of cheating, HMRC. But they're still doing stuff that they wouldn't have been able to get away with had it all been out in the open. The Premier League wouldn't have allowed, or UEFA didn't allow. So I understand what John's saying. It's slightly different where, like PSR, it's slightly different, but it's still doing something under the covers that has benefited you massively. Because those players who they're paying from 4 different accounts wouldn't have stayed. They'd have gone somewhere else. And the benefit of that, managers wouldn't have come. So they got a huge sporting benefit. And yet, I've been able to sort of go, we'll see. Yeah. We're just expecting a little fine. Yeah. We'll pay it and we'll all move on. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. Stewie says, Stewie 1987, hello, you legends. Well, hello to you, Stewie. Fed says, hi all, does anyone know exactly when the full 90-minute replays are available on the Everton channel if you've got the adequate membership? It's midnight, I think, the 90 minutes come on from the game. So if you're hoping to avoid it because you're busy on Saturday afternoon, can you avoid 7 hours before sitting down to watch Everton?
No. That can't ridiculous.
See it. Gary Ward, who was way down the list today, says hardly. James says, I bet you Chelsea get a transfer ban only. It's not going to affect them. Maybe a small fine. If it was us, we'd have been expelled from the league. To show up the stuff. Doesn't seem like they're even getting a transfer ban, James. Just seems like they're saying that they're expecting a small fine. So I don't know. Emma says, never mind, lads. It's the taking part that counts. Yeah, that's how it felt, Emma. I can only agree. Jay says, I look forward to hearing about the results of the Chelsea charges in 2032. Everton and Forest done in a fortnight. Hung, drawn and quartered. Mark G says, good afternoon, lads. Hope you're having a wonderful day thus far. Regarding Chelsea, I think we all know what will happen or not. Rules for thee and not for me. They'll probably penalise Everton 12 points. That'd feel harsh if we just got 12 points. I'd say not for us. Blue Keeley says, good luck to everyone in the Palace ballot. Should find out soon. Jake says, get the 3 points on the weekend and point out to the derby, and this could be a really good season. It can be a really good season anyway, can't it? We've just, Saturday's the first one. So therefore, it's about trying to get that win. Forget about everything that's gone on. Forget about what Villa have done or haven't done. And we've just got to go out and try and do our job. Get the job done. And then Liverpool game, we'll deal with that one next, won't we? They play Atletico Madrid in the Champions League on the Wednesday before us, so that's a tough game. Albeit it's at home, it's still a tough game.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Danny says he even taking part is stretching it. Fair enough, Dan. And we can't really kick back on it too much. Emma says, what causes though my mum was in Woodlands and they're amazing. Well done, lads. Cheers, Emma. Danny says, Baz wasn't too bad, to be fair. How? Were you there, Danny? How would Danny know that? Yeah. Unless it's on about something else. Fair play. Eddie says you got to live or love and breathe pickleball to play it.
Well, it's not pickleball.
No.
It's paddle.
It's paddle.
That's two different things.
Mm. Pickleball's like the old golf practice balls that you should play, the plastic perforated ones, aren't they? Steve W says, all right, lads, I was watching yesterday's phone in earlier. Particularly the discussion around ticket availability to non-season ticket holders. Randomly checked availability for the coming games and managed to get a ticket for Saturday. It just shows you, though, you have to keep checking. Made up. Cheers, Steve. And Blue Jay says, I see the Reds are still getting decisions even in a charity game of paddle.
Exactly. Well, they made the decisions. They refereed the game, which is just par for a derby, isn't it?
Because there was one, wasn't it, that? Was a dodgy one? And I went out that. I don't know if it did.
Yeah.
I think it hit the glass off the serve. When it kicked up, it didn't hit the mesh, and they said, it didn't bounce.
Yeah, they moved on very quickly.
And it was on to the next. Just the score just got added
it's
on.
It's like Konate's second yellow card.
Yeah.
They just moved on very quickly.
Yeah. Tom Kite says, hey lads, boring question, but everyone is hyping Gay loads. How do you think he compares to Branthwaite? I think Branthwaite's miles better than Mark Gay. Personally, I think you like him, don't you? I think he's all right. I don't think I'm not saying he's not a good defender.
He stays fit.
I think he's decent and he's fit. I think Branthwaite's much better, personally. But like Ped said, the key thing is the lad stays fit and plays. So
he's also like 3 years older, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's had a really good 18 months.
No, he has. Jamie, Nathan says, what was Jamie Webster saying about it? They're basically saying we were rubbish.
Yeah.
But them didn't want to play us. So, but I've been told by even people who were just watching him that he was terrible.
Yeah.
That they were terrible. So, Brian Garside said, Michael Keane has been in excellent form so far. Have we finally got the player we hoped for when we bought him?
No.
He's had good spells before, Brian.
Yeah.
Like really good spells. He's a fourth choice centre-back at the club. So what David Moyes has already said. That's what he was there for. And he's done well since he got in. There's no question about it. But the minute Jared Branthwaite's fit, he will be back in the side. Money, the minute Branthwaite's fit, he'll play Money. That's just the way it is. Sasquatches at Blue says, all right, lads, hope you're all fighting fit again. I think we should get our points back and have them added on this season. It's the only justifiable form of an apology from the Premier League.
Feels like that.
I say this tongue-in-cheek, of course, but both ourselves and Forest should get some sort of compensation, even if it's just the money we both lost from possible position changes. No, you're right. You're right. Everton lost 12 million or something because of the Premier League, saying, no, we can't fine you because you can pay that, when the fine would have been like 10 million. But they moved us places in the league, which cost us more than 10 million. So they hurt us worse than what a fine would have done. And the same with Forest. You're absolutely right. David says, always the same in any walk of life. The big boys always escape real punishments while the little guys get punished. Yeah. Graham Lloyd says the club should put out a statement. It's just embarrassing now. I just don't know whether Everton would want to get involved.
No.
They've sort of gone
drawn
past
a line under it, hasn't
they've when they were allegedly still getting looked at for one charge. Remember one? Oh, this tax thing hasn't been quite filled in. They both got together and just went, let's just end this now. And Everton and the Premier League obviously shook hands and walked away, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Everton have just gone. It's up for everybody else to go, hang on, what? See, I thought me and John discussed this the other day about the PSR thing, the way all of a sudden it's an outrage that Newcastle and Villa have got to sell players and he can't just keep spending.
Weird, that, isn't it?
And yet when we were talking about it, that we weren't being allowed to progress, everyone was just like, oh, well, get on with it. Don't pay your players so much or sell players or whatever it is. Now, it's like, this needs to be changed. But that's basically, and it's not really Newcastle have done it through the press, but this has come about because Christian Perslow was obviously at Villa. His cry-arse, but he was prepared to go on the telly and cry-arse about it, where, sadly, we had someone who was too busy marching off into the, looking over the shoulder for headlockers and taking a few million quid with the board because they wanted out the club and we had no one there to represent us. So that's why it's a big thing now. Graham Lloyd says, thanks for setting up the channel for the ticket inquiries. I will have some time this week to look into it. Hoping to get over there in October. Good, Graham. Hope you get over and get to go to the new stadium. Andrew S. on the super chat says, Everton forevermore. Well, I mean, don't really need to say much more than that, Andrew. No. Thank you very much.
No.
Craig Cole says they should have asterisks next to their names.
The streets will remember.
They will. They will. Celtic Vape says, I'm thinking all Premier League clubs have skeletons of various sizes in their closets. That's why they keep some.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Don't forget, Man City only got caught because a German newspaper was prepared to do an expose on them.
Well, they broke into emails, didn't they? And it was basically just like, yeah, we've done something that you're not really allowed to do, which is going to other people's emails. However, look what we found.
Yeah.
And that sort of took over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Danny said, watching on Insta, Baz, could see you had form. I mean, it's probably bad form, but there you go. Thank you, Danny. Diego Borg says, who's going to be our replacement for Guy?
Why?
When next season? Might still be it again. Got a year plus one, didn't he? So. Yeah. Yeah, Phil, I did see it. Does anyone see the video of Grealish turning up at training with birthday cake for the lads? Came in with 3 big boxes, didn't he? A birthday cake. Fair play. Good lad. Good lad.
Saved that for Saturday night.
James says, how much do you reckon the club is worth now? How much do you think Everton's worth now? Because obviously it's back on a more solid footing. The ground,
with the stadium now. Stadium must be worth. Must be worth upwards of 700, 800 million, surely. Because of the stadium.
Yeah, so I think it's worth a lot of money. And that was always the thing. And listen, we know that Farhad done stupid things and wasn't as good as he could have been, but he did deliver the stadium and he did write off a lot of debt, which now means the club is worth far more than what the Friedkin group paid for it. So it's up to them now to build onto that and put their money where their mouth is. Although you did say before it was this summer was the biggest net spend ever had in the transfer market.
93 million, I think it was. Biggest one ever. So we didn't show selling one, did we? With barely anyone. So yeah. So they have put the money where the mouth is. And you can't really complain about that.
Yeah.
So
let's hope there's a lot more where that came from. Where are we here? Dylan says, under David Moyes, Michael Keane hasn't really put a foot wrong. Why would you say that? He deserved the chance that all of the players have had under Moyes, a much better manager than we've had for years. Dylan, fair play. However, when Jarrad Branthwaite's fit, he will go back in. It's like having a lad come in and score a few goals. The minute your number one striker who scores goals is available, he's back in, isn't he? You know, if Jack Grealish was suspended or something, or missed a game through illness or whatever, just missed one game, and Dwight McNeil come in and did really well, the next week people would still expect Jack Grealish to be back in the team because he's better. So I think you're always going to have that. But Michael Keane has done all right. He done well at the end of last season. Don't forget, he did really well. I was at Fulham, so did Brantwaite play at Fulham? He played at Fulham. Yeah, sorry. He played at Fulham with Brantwaite and did really well. We won. He scored. We then played Southampton at home the following week, and he was left out because Seamus Coleman played Jake O'Brien. So no matter how well he did last season, and he scored a key goal. The goal of Fulham was to make it 2-1. He won the game 3-1. He was back out the team. And then obviously Jared Brantwaite got injured at the end of the Southampton game. Then Michael Keane was back in and we went up to Newcastle and he was really good, wasn't he? But he's been good. He hasn't. Everton haven't. Okay, against the second goal against Wolves, he could have done better. It wasn't great defending, but Mikalenko should have known the lad was there and he had no clue either. The cross should have been stopped. The first goal, I still blame Jordan Pickford a bit for that. It was he anticipated it wrongly, but we should have cut the ball out. And Tarkowski passed the lad on that he should never have done. But Keane's been playing really well. And one of the things that I'd sort of forgotten about, it's his challenge in the corner flag
for the goal
at 1-1 to win the ball back, which we then scored the second goal. He chases the lad. Looks like he's trying to give a free kick away. He doesn't. But he puts the lad under pressure and we nick the ball back and score. So he's been in good form.
Yeah.
And hopefully he has an absolute worldie of a game on Saturday. And then we'll see if Brantwaite's available for Anfield. Maybe Moyes will put him in. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll go. No. If Everton win again on Saturday and say Everton kept a clean sheet and did quite well, then David Moyes, even if Brantwaite's fit for Liverpool, David Moyes might go, no, I'll put you in for Wolves away in the cup and give you 10 minutes there. And he might play Michael Keane at Anfield. But if he does, Michael, remember 2 years ago when we were doing all right, don't put your hand out for the bus. Just don't do that by the cop. But no, he's done well, Dylan. You're absolutely right. He has done well. James English says it'll be interesting to see if they invest around the stadium area, like you've mentioned before with Nelson Dock. I think they'd be stupid not to invest in it. There's land there that I think Everton could get. And even if it cost them a few million, they're going to be able to flip that. Aren't they? That area, if they do put the money in, and don't forget it's an investment.
Yeah, it's real estate, isn't it?
It's real. They could flip that, make it really, really an amazing area, the Everton Village, Blue Village, whatever they're looking at doing. And if they could get some of those things and Nelson Dock and all that, they've got a chance to get a real return on investment there as well. And it'd be great, wouldn't it? So I think they will do it. They're certainly looking into it, aren't they? Because I think
they'll look to buy up as much. I think if they had an opportunity beforehand, they would have bought the land over the road.
Yeah, I do.
So I think they'll be looking, won't they, just to see what's available and make it even if it's not something that's used by Everton, it's just to buy property. That's what all football clubs used to do around their grounds. When you think about it, around Goodison, we owned the street that now leads into the park end. That was a street where players lived. Property was football clubs, and Liverpool and Everton will still own property in this city. Property of houses that to put players in. And
we sold loads. We had car park further down. Irene Thingy car park that was further down from Goodison past the shop. We had that. We ended up selling loads of little bits of land because we couldn't get any more money anywhere else because Bill Kenwright didn't attract anymore. But we ended up selling all of the bits that we had, which would have been worth fortunes later on. We would have made more money. So we have done it before. Yeah. So we'll see.
It'll only go up in value.
Yeah.
Already opposite the Titanic, at the top end, there's already like new flats there, like really nice apartments. So the whole area is only going to go one way. And there is a lot of land down there and a lot of old, obviously, buildings and stuff that can be converted. So Everton should be looking to buy as many as they can.
Yeah, I think so. Neil Singleton says, "Hi lads, nice to meet you in Chicago." Nice to meet you, Neil. Do you think we'll be able to get to January with just 2 strikers, or will Moyes use Dibbling and Ndiaye as the 3rd striker? Well, that's what he said. It's Ndiaye and then Dibbling. So essentially, he's saying there's 4 strikers there. So He mightn't do anything in January where there's a striker concerned. If the other two are doing all right and we've got Njai and Dibbling, then we might put that off till next summer and then make a decision on Beto, because Beto he's got less than 2 years left on his deal. So therefore, Moyes might be like, we'll make that decision on a different striker next summer and see how Beto does. If Beto knocks in another 15 Premier League goals this season, then Moyes might just be like, just extend his contract. We know we can do it. It's up to Tierno Barry. I do think Tierno Barry's going to be good for us. I do. And therefore, it's about him developing as well. But Njai has proved the last couple of games, that's where centre forwards are, where he's popped up and get yourself in there. He's got that sort of instinct, to get on the end of things. So let's hope we don't need Njai or Dibbling through the middle. Just hope Barry and Beto just continue to do the business. That's what it's about. So everything we can put off to next summer is it means things are going okay. Yeah. And then you can plan for that rather than panicking and jumping in. Andrew says, I would have Keane over Tarkowski when Branthwaite's back. No. Unless Tarks picks up his form. No.
Not for me, anyway.
No. Tarkowski is massively important to Everton. Massively important to Everton. Tryler says, I dread seeing Keane on the team sheet, but he has done well recently. Ken says, Nelson Dock, Toffee Town. David Barkley says, listening to you through my new smart specs. They are brilliant.
Smart specs,
amazing. Tremendous.
The future.
Tremendous. James says, is the limitations on what they can do with the dock area?
I don't really know. I don't really know. That's the truth. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know whether there is only literally the Nelson dock. That everything else is spoken for now. And obviously the whole of the other end, the central docks, is going to be turned into houses and a park and stuff, which will be, again, once that's all sorted, you can imagine how that's going to take the area up with people living there and offices and joining it all together, so there's not just this big piece of wasteland. But I don't know whether they would be allowed to do what they've done with our dock to that if they wanted to build an arena or something. But if they're really serious about doing something with the area, obviously this is Peel. I think an arena is, and I've said this many times, is such a big focus point of having a stadium in an arena. And if that means filling the dock, there's no limitations now on anything to do with
English heritage.
Anything to do. Once we've got the thingo's gone, hasn't it? The World Heritage status is gone, so that's not a thing. And now we've got a stadium, so if we was to put something next to it, I can't imagine there'd be too much.
I don't think there'll be any.
No, I don't think.
Stuff's happening further along. So, because I've just seen a comment here, it says, from B, it says the ground should have been by the Costco ferry terminal, where it's now empty, too industrial where the ground is. It'll never develop on one side. Well, A, that land wasn't available, so it couldn't have been there. And B, that land is all being developed. There's going to be a park there. There's going to be the walkway right the way to the ground. And if Everton do develop Nelson Dock, which is what they're looking at, then that'll be developed the whole way along.
You couldn't have developed that. You can't develop that area because in terms of a stadium, if he's talking about the central docks, because it has a water channel through it that is where the boats come off the Liverpool Canal, and they go left and they go up that channel and then they go down through the pier head and into the Albert Dock. You'd be cutting off the Liverpool Leeds. You would never have got any permission to do that whatsoever.
Well, it's town is going to touch the stadium. So you're going to be able to go right the way along.
Yeah, once it's all...
Anyway, so there's a park and that's going to have...
Once that park's open, once that's all done, and I don't know how Everton will do this, but you'll be able to walk all the way effectively from Otterspool, all the way through the Albert Dock, through the pier head, through, because you can walk through the...
My missus rode from Otterspool the other day to our stadium.
Yeah.
So she went right the way along, miles along, and then only had to come out by the light, where they have the barriers on match day now.
Yeah.
And then she went on
so
to our
you
ground.
go-
So the next bit,
So you go by Liverpool waterfront or Liverpool waterways, whichever way it's called, which is where the ferry, where the cruise liners come in.
Yeah.
And then you go up there and you can take a left, go across a bridge, and then you're into the Isle of Man ferry terminal. You can go through the ferry terminal, and then that brings you back onto the front. And then you come down, like you said, and you have to turn right now, where you see all those lights.
Yeah.
But it's blocked. But eventually you'll be able to walk all the way through, go past the Dockers clock, and then come to Everton's ground. Now, obviously, I don't know how that will work in terms of Everton obviously wouldn't keep it open, but on a normal day, will Everton keep that open like they do now? I don't know. But that should all be open. But that's the reason. So,
so it will be. That is getting developed. All the way
it's getting
along.
developed. They've already started.
So therefore, the other side, that's what we're talking about. So it will be developed right the way down. So I know that. Colin Young is in charge of all of that sort of development now, and he's looking into the Nelson Dock stuff. So I'm with you. I think if Everton could get an arena on there, I think for the city it makes massive sense.
Everton have been given, I think they've been given a certain amount of time with Nelson Dock, and obviously they've put a car park on it for now. Not 100% sure why the car park doesn't service the shop in the day and stuff. I'm not really sure, but hopefully they'll get around to that. So obviously they are talking to Peel about it, and as I've said, it makes 100% sense. It would make sense if we were to, as a city, would build a 25,000 arena that would obviously rival Manchester.
We can have things like the NBA. And
we can have anything. Though the point being is, we can have anything all the time. You can only have concerts for 1 month of the year, and that's it. There's nothing else you can use it for in the stadium. So if you want to become a destination city, but for the football club like Manchester City have done, I can't repeat it enough.
No, I think
we need an arena. We need an arena in this city because we're going to gradually lose more and more of these massive concerts. NBA apparently is coming to Manchester. We've got somebody. We've got some. That was a one-off jag rumour. We've got a. They're not putting an NBA game inside in a stadium,
on
are
the
they?
plaza, apparently, in a thing. I don't know. I only seen the thing.
No chance.
But
if you want, we've got a guy who's in the NBA. So use those connections and build an arena there.
I don't know whether Jason Kidd's going to build it, but he could certainly.
I think he should personally.
Maybe
very much like I just
lay a bit of brick. Well,
very
you
much.
Said you just erect. Maybe you
just erect it.
Build it.
I'm down there because the question's got to be asked: what has Jason Kidd done for Everton so far?
I don't know. Very little. It feels.
What have you done for me lately, Jason Kidd?
Get her to sing it as well. Steve Lee says, "Can you explain the penalty Wolves should have had?"
Yeah, it was when Njai took the lad's legs. I must admit, when it happened, I was a bit like,
where?
Yeah.
See, I didn't
you see them given
anything wrong with it whatsoever.
You see them all the time.
I know, but you know why I don't think it was a penalty? I still don't think it was a penalty. Because he didn't flick a foot out.
No, but
his leg was standing and the lad caught his leg.
It was just because...
That was my view.
That's what you see in the Premier League.
I was fuming that they even talked about looking at it. I was like, what? Because they didn't look at the handball when Njai scored, which they disallowed for offside. They did the lad's hand. So
football, it's narratives, isn't it? It's all the time. It's narratives. It's people stopping and making a big deal out of something and letting it's all narratives. That happens in an 8 o'clock game on a Monday night, and it's live on telly. They pour over that. I always say, when a game's on at 3 o'clock and nobody's paying any attention to it, the amount of stuff that goes on, but when it's on telly and it's live and it's a big game, everything gets analysed.
James English says, I finally met a Korean who supports Everton over there. I was surprised his favourite player was Tahi. He played like him too. Remy House says, are you looking forward to Saturday, lads, and what are your predictions? I am looking forward to Saturday. I think Everton can win. But I don't think it'll be as easy as I've seen some people thinking it'll be. Villa are still a very good side, and I've got very good forward players. Defensively, they haven't been amazing so far. Matty Cash is doubtful. Whether you think that's good or bad, whatever, he's doubtful. Onana's not fit apparently, neither's Kamara, neither's Barkley. There's someone else out as well. So they're not going to be at 100% full strength. And they're not playing amazingly well so far.
It's a tough game.
But still a tough game, and beat them since 2016. But this Everton, I've got options and create a hell of a lot more than they have done over the last few seasons. So if we can play how we've been playing, and the crowd can really get engaged in the game, then there's no reason why Everton can't win the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's the other way round. Villa would be expecting to beat us at the weekend, wouldn't they? They'd be going, we expect to beat these.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think Everton can get the result, but we're going to have to play well. And it makes me a little bit uncomfortable when I see some fans going 3 or 4-0.
Yeah.
Because the day of the Leeds game, I remember sitting here going, we're not going to win 3 or 4-0. No. I know I felt like we could get something because we came out, we were dreadful. So I do believe we can win the game. I just think we're going to have to play well to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a very tough game. Very tough game.
Yeah. Matthew's gone for a 3-1 win.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Any win just to keep the momentum going for another week, I think, because I think it'd be really interesting if we went into the derby on a win and run for a change, where the players feel really confident. Listen, Liverpool are the top side, and I don't even think they've played well this season, and they've won every game, so you go, okay, they're good. And they'll beat Burnley on Sunday in first gear. They won't have to even break sweat on Sunday to beat Burnley. It'll be 2 or 3-0. They won't get out of first gear. But then they've got Atletico Madrid, and they want to do well. That's the tournament they want to do well in, don't they? So that'll be a tough game for them. And if Everton could win, and then it's the momentum got a week then. Liverpool have got a game on the Sunday, then a game on the Wednesday. Then, you know, we'd be very interesting going to Anfield on a good run of form. And just to see whether that translates on the pitch, because so many times over the years we've watched Everton doing well, and when we've kicked off at Anfield, we've looked like a team that's never kicked the ball before. You know, wouldn't it be lovely to go to Anfield and put on a really good performance where they looked like, where people were like, these actually look like a good side. Well, the last time I think we did it was the Pickford derby when he dropped the ball. We were brilliant that day, and they won the game, so it's easy to say. But I remember talking to Paul in here, and he was like, "You look like a really good side." We'd lost the game, so I don't know whether if we'd have won 1-0 or 0-0, he'd have said it. I don't know, but that felt, because even when we won there 2-0, we done well, but we needed Pickford make some big saves that day. And listen, to get anything there next week, he'd have to have another stormer, but I'd just love to go into that with the momentum, just to see how that translated, rather than not turning up Saturday and then you're a bit like Liverpool next and all. I want to be looking, going, let's see if we can mix it a little bit and make them worry. David says, have you also noted not many training videos are being released? The Finch Farm mob.
There wouldn't have been that much training though, would there? Not proper training.
David also says, David Moyes and his coaching staff have done wonders with Keane. I was hoping to see the back of Michael, but a healthy slice of humble pie is sat ready for me to eat. He's doing what we needed him to do. Which he signed a new contract. You know, a lot of people were fuming over it, and Moped's saying, why not? Why not? If he's going to be number 4, why not? He knows the club, all of that stuff. He'll just come in. He's a good lad, works hard, and therefore, rather than paying 8-9 million, which is what Brighton wanted for Adam Webster, for just to have another centre back to come in, then why not keep Michael Keane for those moments when you need him? Now, Michael Keane has been needed, and he's come in, and he's done well. And he has. And long may it continue. So let's just hope he has another stormer on Saturday and then bangs one in from 35 yards. One of his specials as well. You know, clean sheet and a Michael Keane special would be lovely, wouldn't Stevie says, do you really believe that Napoli bid €30 million for Mykolenko with a year left on his contract? I think he'd be gone if that was true. There's no way we could turn that down. Well, we probably could, to be fair. For a left player we paid 17 million for 4 years ago would have been a great deal for us. It means you could have signed a left back and a right back with the money. I don't think money's an option. It was a concern, Steve. What left back would we have brought in with a couple of days left of a window or a day left of a window and a right back? So Mykolenko didn't want to go either. I believe that's the biggest thing why the deal never went through. He didn't want to go. So, and if you're David Moyes, MC Moyes, he probably would have been looking going, I don't want to sell part of this defence. Yeah, when Everton are all, he's going to sign a new deal in the next couple of weeks, Mykolenko. Club have been talking to him, he's going to stay. Moyes are probably looking and thinking, don't want to take another piece out of it. Brandtwaite's not fit. So you've already destabilising it. He wants a right back. We've got one left back who's a kid.
Yeah.
You know, he'll want to move, either give Asnu the opportunity to take that place off Mykolenko. Mykolenko will hold his value for a couple of years because he's a solid left back,
solid,
isn't he? Everton are if Mykolenko signs a 4-year deal, which I think he probably will, 26, Everton could still sell him for 20-25 million in the summer easily. He's an international footballer.
Sure, there's the other side. Mykolenko's will have lots of uncertainties in his life. And, he's come here and married, now got a kid.
Playing for Everton.
He's got a level of that kind of certainty and control in his life, which other parts of his life, I imagine he hasn't gone with it. Got with everything going on. So moving to a new country, all that kind of thing. I think sometimes it's better the devil you know. And Napoli obviously are a good team, but the Premier League is where it's at, isn't it? So. And
he's probably looking and going, my biggest challenger right now is a 19-year-old kid who was just coming. So he's picked for Ukraine when he's fit, when they haven't got a cob on. Everton feel like they're on the up and up. And we've gone to brand new stadium. There's exciting players. He's at it at the worst. So he's probably looking now thinking, I want to be part of something that's going the other way.
Yeah.
So listen, I can't say with certainty, Steve, that Napoli bid that money, but there's 3 or 4 reports coming out of Italy and a couple of good journalists who sort of went with it. So I don't know, is the reality. But I understand why David Moyes would have been reluctant to let him go, and especially if the player doesn't want to go, because then you're trying to force the player out. Like Pez just said, he's got stability here. But I really believe he'll hold his value. If Everton kept him for a year,
if they put him on the contract
and sold him next summer, Everton could probably get 20 to 25 million for him. He's 27, just turned. He's an international footballer playing in the Premier League. And if Everton sold him for 25 million, they will have had 5 seasons out of him and made £8 million on him, won't they? So I can see why.
Yeah.
I just don't think with a day left, Steve, or 36 hours left, you're getting a left back and a right back.
Yeah.
Not ones you want anyway. So, David said, sorry, I've done them, haven't I? Robert Jones says, afternoon, gents. First time in a long time. I'm really looking forward to a game and the rest of the season. Feels like the team is much stronger. Hill Dickinson is amazing and there's positivity around the club. Even if we don't do great this season, the signs are there that we are finally coming back. Yeah. Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about creating the momentum as a football club. David Moyes, MC Moyes, came in and immediately talked about Everton being near the top when we were near the bottom. And it felt like a huge stretch. But I can still remember me and Ped, John, James all sat in here when he done that first press conference, and the few things he was saying, we were just looking at each other smiling. It was like, this is what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And it felt like it felt a million miles away because we were crap. We hadn't scored in 9 out of 11 games. And he was like, my team's playing near the top.
Yeah.
This Everton people need to remember what it means to play for Everton. All of that, and they're easy things to say.
Yeah.
You've got to go and deliver it, and he's gone and delivered it. So it feels like we're on an upward spiral. How high we can get, we'll need a little bit of luck. The players will need to be fit, and Moyes will have to get his tactics right, and the ownership group, board, whichever you want to call it, will have to put the hand in the pocket if we want to go where we want to go. But they'll have to do that now. I think Ped said it a few times. They've asked us to pay a hell of a lot more money to go and watch football with our club. So now they're going to have to put their hand in their pocket and deliver players. Then that means that we're justified. It's justified asking us for more money. You can't just go, we've give you the great ground. Yeah, we're shite and we're getting... So it doesn't work like that. So everyone now has got to throw then the gauntlet down to each other. The players have got to overperform for the manager. The manager's got to make sure the players have got every opportunity to be the very best they can be. Us as fans have got to make it an absolute bear pit so that people come out and go, fucking hell, I thought Goodison was bad, this is worse. There's now 50,000 of these lunatics screaming at us, and we've all got to do our bit. And then Angus Kinnear's got to drive the football club forward. If he's truly the man that the Friedkin group are going, you deliver the club, do the things, he's got to do it. He's got to change people within the football club and get better, if that's what it takes to take Everton where it needs to. And then Dan Friedkin and whoever else, I'm saying Dan Friedkin because he's the chairman, have got to put his hand in his pocket and go to Moyes. What do you need? Remove, against what me and John have said, remove all of the excuses.
No excuses.
And go, what do you need, David? Well, I need a lad. I need another 60 million here for these two players. There you go. Because then he'll be performing. If we all do that and all come together, we will have a good, not only will we have a good season, we'll have a good few years.
Yeah.
That's where we've got to challenge each other on the football club. Nick says, hi lads, my brother is an RS fan and he says Pickford isn't a good goalkeeper and says he's only got clean sheets because we have 10 men behind the ball. How do I tell him he's an idiot and Pickford's one of the best in the league? Probably, I'd just say you're an idiot and Pickford's one of the best in the league. I mean, you've almost answered your own question. If that's what he thinks, then he, with all due respect to your brother, doesn't really understand football, does he? Because he's obviously not watched Everton clean sheets all the time. But at the end of the day, Liverpool fans they seem to watch and view football very differently to us. Everyone they sign is the best in the world, and everyone else is crap. So don't worry about them. Kevin Maloney, you're right. We did beat them in a cup game a couple of years ago, didn't we? James Garner scoring, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring as well. Nathan says, Ped, if you build it, they will come. The arena, that's what he's saying. Steve P says, I wasn't aware it was the last couple of days. That makes sense then. But if someone bids that type of money next year, I'd sell him because we need to improve the left-back position. I think Moyes would stay, honestly. I think if it was a year's time, I think David Moyes and he was under contract. I think Moyes would look then and go 27. I think the club would look at it and go, yeah, we maybe we can do something different, but I don't think he needs to right now. I think see how it goes this year. I'll see how Asnu develops as well over the next year. See whether he really can take the position or whether we need a better one. We'll see. Blue Jay says, what are your main concerns for the Villa game? Seems strange to say our attack is a strength at the moment, but that's exactly how I feel. For Tarkowski, needs to improve. He hasn't had a great start. No, he hasn't, but he was injured, wasn't he? And sometimes he sort of grows into it, Tarky, then he's excellent for weeks and months of the season. So, my main concerns are their attack. If our defence was the normal defence with Branthwaite and Mikalenko fully fit, then I'd think probably midfield will be where it's won and lost. But I feel like we can get at their defence. I think they're all over the place and our attack is our best threat. But we just got to not do anything silly. They're a good side who've been near the top for a couple of years, near the top places as in Champions League places. Let's be honest, they should have been a Champions League team this season. They bottled it at United and were robbed as well in equal measure. So I think they're a good side, and I think we've got we're going to have to be very, very careful to, you almost got away with that.
Just couldn't get the
Just
bend
that
at the
last
end.
bit. It's a tricky game and they're a good side, so that's what we've got to be careful. Haven't we?
Yeah.
That's it. Right. We are done. Me and James will be back at 5. Ped. It's got other stuff to do. So, like, subscribe, do all that. If you're a Premier member, we'll see you in over an hour. Take it easy. Bye.